What if the thing you're calling imposter syndrome is actually your next level calling you?
Hello and welcome to Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams. I decided to shoot another episode of Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams right here in Thailand because I just love the view. So today's episode, I want to talk to you all about clarity, right? Clarity. So this is the thing. I gotta tell my story. So I know that I've been in media for a lot of years. I've interviewed lots of artists. I've met lots of artists from Jay-Z, Beyonce, Destiny's Child, Kevin Hart, Will Smith, LL Cool J, and the list goes on and on and on. Like the list goes on and on. However, there were moments in my life where I was struggling with clarity on what I wanted to do, clarity on what subject am I the expert in. I mean, because there was so many, but I had this imposter syndrome and I didn't know where it came from, but I realized I narrowed it down to a thing, right? So we were doing the TV show Urban Expressions for a lot of years. Okay, so we started in 1992. It's currently 2025, so a lot of years, right? So I was always known as the TV producer, the executive producer of Urban Expressions. That's what I was known for. However, I wasn't necessarily, and people thought I was the host of the show, but I wasn't. I was a producer, right? But people thought I had this skill to do this, that, and the other, but really I was the business behind it. So it really was really interested in business, not necessarily teaching people how to interview, not teaching people how to do the business, because behind the scenes, people think, oh, the money is made behind the scenes. It's not always in front of the scenes, right? That was what it was back then. You didn't always make money because you had to be in front of the scene or on the camera or whatever that may be. So I was really unclear of where I wanted to go until the day it just popped. No, it wasn't just a pop. It was a series of yeses that I had to say. There was a series of yeses I had to say to God. First and foremost, the grateful thing that I connected with the team Kingdom Social Media. We're like a family. 5 years ago in 2020, when the world shut down, COVID hit, to me, it was like, I understand that the world is shut down, but for me, it was like, yes, I get to go into learning mode. I get to go into learning all the things I need to learn. And then I connected to it with David D. Simons. He was offering a course teaching you how to build a course. And that's what I was interested in, right? I was interested in that. And then there we are connected. And then I began doing his social media. And there's more to that story. I'll tell you about that at another time. But right now, I'm talking about the fact that when I came to teach the course or learn how to teach a course, I kept getting stuck at the same thing. Do I teach TV? However, as I worked a little more, learned a little more, and learned more about offers and webinars and books and bestselling, and then once I wrote my book, which is a story in itself. So let me tell you about how I wrote my book totally by accident. Totally by accident. So this is what happened. David said, your book is ready. And I'm like, my book is ready? And I'm like, what do you mean my book is ready? I'm like, what? I'm thinking he wrote a book and I don't know how I thought my book was ready, as if I wrote the book, but I was so excited. My book is ready. And then I go to the graphic person, and it wasn't my book, it was the client's book. But it was the feeling, I need you to understand, it was the feeling that I got when he said, your book is ready. It felt like, wow, it felt like total clarity. I don't understand what happened, but all of a sudden it felt like it's clear. I need to write a book. It is clear. It's clear. So I was like, well, how do I make that a reality? Because back in 2016, I started writing a book, and it was all about how to monetize your podcast and how to monetize your media platform. And I had all these ways, but it was just so all over the place that I never truly completed it. And then I ended up seeing someone else write a similar book ouch, right? That hurt. But then when he said your book is ready, that feeling was just the most amazing feeling. I was excited, happy, overjoyed that my book was ready, even though I realized I had never written a book. But because of that excitement, I said, all right, what's my next step? So then I had this, this is, I said, totally by accident. So then I'm like, all right, what do I write this book about? So I had to provide a lead magnet for us. I was a keynote speaker for Dr. Cheryl Wood's event, Women Who Prosper. And I had to provide a lead magnet. So I spent all night, I'm talking about all night long, hours, just creating a video course about interview your way to Instagram growth. It was about interviewing, how 30 days of interviews helped me grow my Instagram, right? 30 days of interview, 30 days straight of doing an interview every single day grew my Instagram followers. And I'll tell you more about that as well, but it was about actually how when you go live on Instagram, the algorithm or system is set up that they, first of all, they do the work for you. They alert people. We're alerting people that you have gone live, so they're doing work for you. They're letting everyone know that's your followers. Look, Shelly Shell is going live. What? They're doing the work for you. Then when you bring in someone who has followers, it doesn't even matter whether they have a lot of followers, but somebody that you bring someone else on, then you're introducing yourself to their audience through the interview, because guess what? Their audience clicks into, because guess what? The Instagram alerts them as well that they've gone live, right? Boom. What? It's a win-win situation. So 30 days of that, I saw my Instagram grow, significantly, leaps and bounds, like by the hundreds, right? One interview brought me 100 new followers right at that moment. It brought me 100 new followers right at that moment. So listen, it was a game changer. So I did this video course telling you all the process and the procedures on how to go live on Instagram, what it's going to do for you, how to get your guests. And it's a whole system in this book. Some people call it like their interview Bible. There's people who carry it around and be like, listen, this is what I use, right? This is what I use. So, but this is how the actual book came to be. So I did the video course, and I'm still all night talking and doing my thing, right? Just doing my thing. And then at the end of it, I go to look at it, right? And I looked like I was tired. I often say I looked like Michael Jackson in The Wiz. You remember The Wiz? Ease on down the road, right? So I looked like Michael Jackson as the scarecrow in The Wiz. I didn't like the way it looked, and I said, this will never see the light of day. No one will see this video. So then what I did was, I am not wasting this hours upon hours of this whole recording this course. So I took it and I created a book out of it. And that's where, by accident, the actual book came to be. And it's a bestseller. Interview Your Way to Instagram Growth is a bestseller, right? But it all happened by accident. But it also, once again, it was a moment of clarity on, this is what I really want, right? So what I love to help people do is unlock that thing, because I needed that unlock. I needed to understand who I was. I needed to understand what I needed to do. So now I want to help other people, because I know what it's like to be stuck. I know what it's like to not know or be clear on the many gifts that you have. And you're like, well, what do I focus on? What do I do? But the vision of it for me was the fact that I wanted to do this. It was like, yes, it felt right. It was so, and it was something that only I did. I did this. I did the 30 interviews in 30 days. No one else can duplicate what I did. I did that. So it was just a no-brainer. So I created I did the book, Interview Your Way to Instagram Growth. But where the clarity comes in is, I wanted, once again, it became like instantly, once David said my book was done, and then the next step was actually taking the video that will never see the light of day, the Michael Jackson looking like I'm in The Wiz, that video that will never see the light of day, that second thing. And then the third thing is actually putting a system to it. So while I was writing the book, I developed a system so that I can, a duplicatable, repeatable system to teach other people, right? So then I started creating a business while I was writing a book. All of these things happened. So then I also created this 1 minute to book clarity, right? And I want to do a little workshop with you right now. This is a workshop I do when I go to speak, right? I'm going to give a little bit of it to you right now. So I say to you, this is why it's 1 minute. So if I was to give you $1 million, right? I'm not giving it to you. Disclaimer, I'm not giving you $1 million. This is all pretend, right? So if I was to say to you, I want to give you $1 million, and I want you to speak right now. Like, don't think you're getting $1 million to speak. Whatever subject that is that comes to your mind, and you start speaking for a minute. I want you to speak for a 1 minute on that subject. If you're able to do that, more than likely, that is the thing that you are passionate about. If you're able to just go like that, speak 1 minute on it, and that's the first thing you think, because guess what? A book can lead you to $1 million. Making $1 million ain't hard. But and I can do it. You got to be able to say that. Making $1 million ain't hard, and I can do it. That's what Myron Golden says. So what I'm saying to you is, if I'm about to give you $1 million, then you start to speak for 1 minute. You have to think of your book as if it's that $1 million that you can get. What subject is it? What do you want to? What can you talk about for the minute? And then once you do that, there's a bunch of prompts that I give you to actually understand what your next steps are. So that's what I'm saying. Clarity, like, is the thing that we need to this is a thing we need. You need clarity to get to the millions. Clear on what you want to talk about, clear on what you want to offer, the service, how you provide the answer you have to the audience out there. Someone out there needs you to solve their problem. What problem are you going to solve for them through that 1 minute dialogue that you're going to have, because you're going to get $1 million. And if you think of the book as $1 million, because to me, it's more than just a book that might cost $20, $25. It is an offer. It is a program. It is more than that. But you got to think of it like $1 million, like it's possible for you, because making $1 million ain't hard, right? And I believe I can do it. And you have to say that, and your book can be that thing to get you to do it. Right? This is of course, is the Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams, coming to you live right here. Not live, but it's coming to you recorded right here from Thailand, Koh Samui. I'm probably saying that right, Koh Samui. Saying it all wrong, but that's where we've been for the last six days. We have one more day. Once you see this, I'll be back at home, but we have one more day. But we're spending 7 days right here in Thailand. Something I never thought was possible for me. Doors open. Your gifts will make room for you. All you have to do is believe in the God that you serve, that he is giving you the right message. And I want to help you. This is what the podcast is all about. The Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams podcast is all about helping you write the vision, make it plain through books, to help you elevate your purpose, your impact, and your income. Yeah. So keep staying, keep your stations locked, keep your videos locked, keep coming back. I have stories upon stories. I'm going to tell you even stories from the past Urban Expressions days, meeting Jay-Z, meeting Beyonce, meeting Destiny's Child, meeting LL Cool J, meeting all of the people. But to me, meeting you is key. Meeting you is the key. So what I need you to do is go ahead and download the 1 minute to book clarity so you can see it for yourself. Here's the QR code. It's on the screen. Download the 1 minute to book clarity so that we can get you started, right? So you can get into my Elevate community. Are you ready? I understand. I need you to do this, right? I know I interviewed a lot of celebrities, but you are the celebrity in my eye, because I want to see you get clear like I've gotten clear. I want to see you get clear because I know it's possible, because making $1 million ain't hard. That's what Byron Golden says, but I want to say it over and over, because guess what? When you start to say it, you start to believe it, and you start to understand what God said. Abundance is your birthright. He said abundance is your birthright. So don't you want the abundance, and don't you want to leave a legacy for your children's children? That's what a book can do. Ow! what you gonna do? Go ahead. Here's the QR code. Download the 1 minute to book clarity. And I thank you for joining me on my Thailand edition of Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams. I don't know. I just made that song up. Did you like that? Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams. Ooh, I don't know. Maybe I just made my own theme song. Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams. Anywho, all right. Thank you so much for joining me. Once again, we'll be having an episode one a week, and maybe even 2 a week. I don't know. But right now, I'm promising you 1 a week, and it should be consequences when you don't do what you say. Everybody should have a consequence when you don't do what you say. So if you don't write your book, there's going to be a consequence and repercussion. All right, y'all, don't forget my free webinar. Also, if you want to join in on the webinar, get that 1 minute book clarity so that I can send you an email about all the details about the three costly mistakes keeping you stuck and not writing your best-selling book. Woohoo! All right, y'all, have a great day, and I will see you next time on Elevate with Dr. Shelly Shell Williams. Come on, let's go. Let's get clear on the vision. Write the vision, make it plain so that we can elevate your purpose, your impact, and your income. Let's go.
Need clarity on your book topic? Download the 1 minute to book clarity TM for free below.